raining and it's coming down harder now. It was a mist before. We're leaving Hot Springs and we're going 10 miles, and I probably won't be able to record anything because the screen will be wet. But it's a lot of uphill, kind of like the downhill we took to get here. And I figure I'm going to be totally soaked in this raincoat, not even bothering with the rain skirt. Everything will be wet when we get there. So hopefully we get into a shelter, and hopefully it won't be raining all day because it's coming down right now. So I'll talk to you later. It's maybe a very, very short video today. Well, seems to have slowed down the rain. It's about 10 o'clock right now. Began at about 8:30. Passed one guy early on who was embracing the sec As he said it, wasn't even wearing a raincoat. So I guess he fell back soon enough, though. I'm surprised, but maybe even turned back or put a raincoat on, I don't know. Anyway, Rufus is definitely back of me. I've been walking fairly slow. I've had a couple little minor slips. I think one was on video. And it does look slightly brighter, but I really don't expect it to stop raining. I expect it to be like this all day. I also expect that everyone in that shelter that I'm going to stayed for a zero because they didn't want to walk in the rain. And I'll get there and I'll have to set up a tent in the rain. That's what I expect. We'll find out when I get there. I guess had we started yesterday, we'd be a day ahead. I mean, it didn't rain until late afternoon. I would have made it to the shelter. They may not have. But now we're paying for it because this is quintessential Appalachian rain, as far as I could get from videos. And for all I know, without being able to check weather, because there's no phone service, and we didn't have any wireless in the room we were in, I just bet it'll be like this for a few days. But come the 6 days or thereabouts, I'll be at Irwin and I'll try again to upload videos. I only got 2 up this weekend, taking like 12 hours or more for a 15 or 20 minute video. It's stupid. Without my data, I couldn't use my phone to upload through the 4G. So I'm a good week behind at least in videos. And it's not like every one of them is a blockbuster of information and entertainment. Just a glimpse of that day's agony or pain. Staying at a sunny Dale, I think it was, inn. It was nice enough, very dark building, but it was okay. Might have been nicer if there was some form of entertainment other than listening to a few people play the same songs over and over on the guitar or piano. Or if I was really interested in reading one of the magazines or books. Didn't listen to any podcasts. How boring this life can be. Even this walk, I almost got dizzy at one point. I felt like I was falling asleep while I walked. Just so bored. Looking down. Dribble of rain. No input from a podcast or anything, because I didn't want to get the headphone socket wet. Well, it's probably wet, but I don't know if it was a good idea to use it in the rain. Wireless would have been better. Oh well, live and learn. But I know at some point we passed the highway that runs through Hot Springs. So I'm not sure at what point that signals, halfway or less or more. Definitely uphill though. Today I'm going up now, if you can't tell. But I hope there's room in the shelter. Hope everyone moved on, left it all empty for us. It'd be great. Talk to you later.
Just around there. Billy Rose?
Yeah, no, Buddha.
Oh yeah, Buddha? I like that.
Quality granola with like Icelandic yogurt to go with it.
This is what you need.
Fresh cantaloupe. Like, oh my god.
That's not for medicine, that's for fun. This is for... That's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, no, not all. It's a lot of vitamin M, you know, Motrin. So much.
Take them.
Well, I'm on my way to get water at the bottom of the hill, which is always a pain after you've had a long day of hiking and your knees are a little sore from any downhill and your pad of your feet are sore from anything. I've got my one bottle I want to fill up as I get later, around 6:30 or so. So yeah, it rained most of the day. I did get the camera out a little bit when my hands were dry, but then it just came raining. At one point I came around a corner and well, there were two guys who weren't wearing any rain gear at all. They were just t-shirt, shorts, backpack, a little bandana around their head, like a sweatband. And so just getting some water here. And yeah, they were getting wet, but I guess they knew that when they got wherever they're going, they were going to get dry, and everything would be okay. So, as I'm filling this, yeah, they were fit guys in their 40s, I think. They weren't slack packing. I think they had a full pack, but it wasn't a heavier pack like mine or a few other people's. So they're definitely in the lightweight or ultralight camper category, I would say. And one point after they passed me, I thought they were fish and sarge, and that got me motivated to get going a little harder up the hill. So I plowed up the hill, getting all sweaty, thinking, oh, this competition. And then I noticed over my shoulder, oh, they're there. They are cut up to me at the top of the hill finally. So I just pulled over and these two guys walked by, and it wasn't them. Oh, it wasn't fish and sarge. So I was kind of relieved in a way, in a bad competition kind of way. And anyway, after about 10 minutes, I walk around the corner, and there's this kind of orangey red bag. Oh, great hair day again. Laying there, a couple of straps around it. It was a tent, and I couldn't tell what kind of tent. It wasn't any big name brand tent, I guess. But anyway, it was really heavy. It was all waterlogged. And I thought, well, somebody dropped it off their pack. You know, they're going to need it. Maybe I better pick it up and carry it. So I picked it up and kind of carried it between my two trekking poles and hanging onto the straps on either end. But it was so heavy. It was like 15 pounds, 20 pounds. And carried it maybe not half an hour. Said, oh, I'll leave it for the next person to carry another half hour, and little by little maybe. So I just put it next to the trail, and off I went. And when I got here, I asked, and nobody knew who tent it was. I figured it was some weekend hiker that just didn't want it anymore and dropped it, walked away. And then some people were doing a slack packing to a hostel that's another few miles from here. And one of the ladies picked it up and had it in her backpack. We're going to take it to the hostel, just in case. So I guess they can at least give it to somebody if they didn't have a tent or Boy Scout or Girl Guide or something like that. Anyway, it got a little weirder as I went along. And at one point I heard somebody say, hey, do you know how far the next town is? And I look up, and there's this guy sitting underneath a big log, off the trail. I thought, oh, okay, we're in some camel or something like that. And I thought, no, I don't think he meant Irwin, which is like 60 miles on. So I said, no, I really don't. Sorry. I just went on. Anyway, later on, he showed up here at the shelter, and he's a little bit weird. He wasn't talking much. One guy from Switzerland asked him if he was maybe going hypothermic or something. He seemed lethargic. I thought he's a little bit more than that, I think. And as they continued to talk with him, I got the impression that this guy is just living in the woods. He doesn't have any purpose, doesn't have anywhere to go. And one guy asked him, is there anything I can do for you? Anything you need? He said, well, I just got $2. You got any money? He said, no, I can give you some food. And he gave him some Spam and candy bar and some jerky or something like that, which the guy was very grateful for. Left me a little leery. Another guy came and was talking with them, and wasn't really so much aware of him in the way I was aware of him. And the guy was talking about knives or something. And he pulled out a knife in a sheath, handed it to this guy, and talking to it. And they go, "Oh, this is a really good knife." And but it's not like a dagger. He said, "Oh, I got one of those too." And he reached in, he pulled out another knife in a sheath, handed it to the guy. And I go, "Oh yeah, this is a really good dagger. This is blah 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 blah." He said, "Oh yeah, it's a very defensive weapon. People think we should slash like this." And I'm kind of sitting behind him, laying on my pad, trying to keep warm from getting out of my wet things. And I'm thinking, oh, don't tell him how to use it. And sure enough, he's going, "Oh yeah, when you use this, you don't go from above, be able to deflect off the ribs, you can do it, you gotta go below, and like this, and get him up from below." And I'm thinking, don't tell him how to use it. And then he pulled out a hatchet he had with a long point on the back end of it. And it's like, oh, this guy, he's got pens. Anyway, he offered the guy something for a pen or something like that for talking to him or something. And anyway, at least he was thinking of, being reciprocative in giving him something. But anyway, we found out his name is Adam, but really don't know much about him. And he had a sleeping bag, and it looks like it's totally soaked, artificial insulation, so it's not deflated like a down would be. Also, a lady here who stayed at the same place we did in Hot Springs with Elmer's, and she quite liked the way he made people talk about themselves at the breakfast or dinner table, and not have phones in the communal areas, stuff like that. So she was a real fan. Anyway, last note, I guess Sarge and Fish are going to be sleeping in tents. I'll be sleeping next to Rufus. Adam will be in the shelter as well, as long as the army guy, can't remember his name now. And there are a few other people that have set up tents right around us. The weather is supposed to be nice tomorrow. It will rain overnight though, which is okay. We'll be inside. It is going to be, I think, 2 days of nice weather, apparently, and then it will be rain again. So we're going to get it toward the end. But by then, maybe have a bit closer to Irwin, and maybe if we huff it, we only get one bad day. And of course, as the weather changes as it does, it may not be good or it may not be bad at all. You never know. The sun is getting a little low. There's one big cloud that was where the sun was, and all this blue all around it. And it hung up things to dry, and the sun never hit them, almost never. Every now and then we get a sunny patch for 30 seconds, and then it would go away. But that one big cloud stayed right where it is the entire time, and big puffy bluish patches you can see have all gone around it. Just luck of the draw, I guess. It's looking nice, and I'm pretty dry. I'm a little cool in these shorts that I'm wearing. It is a little breezy, and temperature is probably around 8, I'd say, Celsius. You're not quite cold, but not warm enough that it doesn't bother you. And I think even though it's getting on to 6:30, I'll probably be going to bed within an hour, I would imagine.